is going on, Houston, Texas, man? We got another packed weekend for you guys, full of videos, full of insights, and tomorrow we actually have a special guest. And you know what? This time around, I'm not going to wait to announce it. Tomorrow, we have no other than Aaron Wilson from the Houston Chronicle, Texans reporter, coming on the channel, man, and talking Texans. So you definitely want to miss out that tomorrow. We're scheduling the interview to start around 2 p.m. and then I should have that channel and that video ready, by 5 p.m. So you guys stay in tune for that, man. Definitely making great moves on this channel. Want to thank everyone who has come on this channel and shared their insight about the Houston Texans. I think you as a subscriber, you watching who hasn't subscribed yet, but I don't know why the heck you haven't and what you're waiting for, hit that button. Let's go. Enjoy these things. I really think you do. It's always good to have a different perspective of people have a little bit more of insight on what's going on in that building. And as long as we can continue to bring it to you guys, we'll be able to do so, man. But today, man, we have quite a lot to talk about. I'm going to call this State of the Texans. As you guys know, I'm going to give credit to D-Stat. I think he has a podcast named that way. So this is nothing to bop off of that. But just truly is a topic, State of the Texans, because it's not just about one thing that we'll be talking. It's about plethora of things. Now, earlier this week, John McClain went on Sports 610, and he stated the Texans are not just looking to get a safety. They're not just looking to get a defensive line. They're looking to bring in 5 extra players. Now, when you look at this and you look at the earlier press conference with O'Brien talking about the unrestricted free agents that they would be signing, both undrafted and free agency, he mentioned, I believe it was anywhere from 82 to 86 players. Now, usually teams go with 90-man rosters going into the preseason and training camp, but it looked like Brian was saying 82 was really where they wanted to be, which meant they were pretty confident in the team that they have now. Now, some of the things that have changed that I know for sure is going to be the COVID. The NFL announced that they're going to look at allowing teams to have anywhere from 12 to 18 extra players on the roster, just because you don't know if 1 week a player catches or tests positive for the COVID and all of a sudden they're not able to be played. You definitely don't want to be rambling trying to add depth at that position, especially if you begin to really mix in to the formula injuries. If players start going down with injuries, and on top of that, players are going down with positive tests with the COVID, it'll make definitely things hard for the NFL. But look, it looks like the NFL is way on its way to continue to roll forward to this September start. They've came out and said that they believe that players will test positive and they'll just get right through it. I thought that was a way of saying we're not really afraid of this thing anymore. Let's keep on moving forward. So I commend them for that. Obviously, basketball is still going, and then I think the Astros, but the MLB is close to finalizing the deal on how many games they will play this season. So sports is moving quite along. Now, besides that, John McClain comes out and said not only will they add the safety, not only will they add a defensive line, but they're looking to add an offensive lineman. And those are 3 positions out of the 5 that he is reporting the Texans are looking to add. So that is very interesting. I know you guys really want to talk about this safety, Jamal Adams, who has came out and demanded a trade from the Jets. Got news yesterday that the Jets have actually said, you know what? All right, we just going to find a way to get you traded and find the best value for the team. Jamal Adams at this point has realized that they're not really trying to negotiate with him. Everything that they've thrown to him has really been lowballed. And Jamal Adams has given, per Adam Schefter, a list of teams that he would like to go to. One of those teams, third on that list, was the Houston Texans. Early on, Jamal Adams, I know most of you guys know this, he's already tweeted, "I love you, Houston." There's many speculations around that. Look, I've talked about this about a month ago, that the Jets were really shopping Jamal Adams prior to the draft to see if they can get anything picked up for that draft. So it's nothing new. I am not surprised. This is really where we at right now. Jamal Adams seems to be a player who will hold out with the Jets if they don't get him traded. So the quicker the better, because I'm sure that as much as the Jets want to get compensation for it, they want to bring in his replacement either via that same trade or something else to try to really fill in that hole, especially when it comes to a new player, this offseason program with the COVID and learning the playbook. You definitely want to get someone as early as possible into the building so that they can get used to that playbook. It'll be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people have been calling for Bill O'Brien to make the move. A lot of people are saying we just don't have the capital. But the best GMs will make it work, man. I think the Jets find themselves in a situation just like we found ourselves with the Clowney situation. Clowney, at one point we just could not get a deal done with him, and because we waited so long to try to get that trade to happen, first round, second round apparently was no longer on the table, and the best that we could get would be a third round pick. So, man, if the Texans could give a third round pick and let's say a player in exchange for Jamal Adams, or maybe a third this year and a second the following year, it'll be very interesting to see if the Jets take on that. Not only is it about capital with this trade, you also got to think about who has the most cap room to really make this deal. He has Jamal Adams has 3 years left on his contract. He's already came out and stated that whoever it is that he's traded to, he is not looking to negotiate that year, which means he's kind of like on that Tyrann Mathieu type of test, where you go to a team for a year and you see if it works, and if it doesn't, then you just move on to the next thing. Unlike him, though, he has 2 years left on that rookie contract, third year if he gets tagged, which I don't think teams will do that, or he won't allow teams to do that to him. And look, you really have to pay him. So when it comes to cap space, out of the list that he gave, it looks like the Texans are in the best position to make the move as far as finance is concerned. As far as giving the Jets what they need, man, if they're looking to get compensation right away, the Texans are out of that picture. But what gives us good leverage is that any other team that he named, whether it was the Seahawks or the Eagles or the 49ers or the Ravens or the Chiefs, those teams just don't seem to have the cap space to fit into that. So as much as you can say, we got a contract coming up with Deshaun Watson and we got to pay Justin Reed and we got to pay Zach Cunningham, don't forget that Bill O'Brien is not afraid to trade someone or cut someone to make that space be known. As soon as he let you know, I can trade our best wide receiver, everything was open on the table. I don't think anyone but Deshaun Watson was safe. And that's truly where we are today with the Houston Texans. So I look forward to seeing what basically happens with the Jets and Jamal Adams. Everyone knows if you team up Jamal Adams and Justin Reed in this backfield, that safety room is pretty solidified. And man, that front seven, all you got to do is really just solidify it in depth. And man, it's going to be a very, very good defense. I think it's going to be a very good defense regardless. Top 10 is what I've already predicted it to be, only because I know that the scheming will be different. I know that the scheming will be what Anthony says. It will be exotic. And look, it's exciting to see, but you can never continue to solidify the team just because you think you're in a good position. And look, I think the Texans started that this last year, man. They picked up players that had maybe bad relationships with other teams, had some type of sour, mouth leaving that organization, whether it was Hargraves or whether it was trading for Conley, or whether it was trading for Duke Johnson or Carlos Hyde. Look, O'Brien and Jack Easterby, they're not afraid to do these moves just because that particular player did not get along with a certain team or they didn't fit with that particular team. Even David Johnson this year, I would say, they didn't care what the Cardinals had to say about him. If they like a player, they will go out and get him. But anyways, man, that is my spill today. You guys take it easy. It is a new weekend. Do something with your life, baby. Do something with your life. And you know what it is every day, right, baby? It's H-Town. Let's get it.